Okay, this is the Ben rant about FC Barcelona and its current state. Um, Recently, they've had a pretty bad time as of lately due to all sorts of different things, such as um, bad tactics, um, bad management, not just of the team itself, but the club as well, as far as their last president before Joan Laporte. I think everybody knows who he is terrible signings, such as the signing of Dembele, who is a complete failure because he's completely injury prone. You have Coutinho, who refuses to play, injury prone, and has too much of an ego. Um, and then you also have Anton Griezmann, who completely did not fit into the team and was overpriced and a stupid signing because of the fact that not only did he underperform, but also the fact that we sold him back. We didn't sell him back. We loaned him. We loaned him to Atletico Madrid, and also gave them an option to buy him for 30 million, and we sold him for over 100 million as well. 100 million. That's a 70 million difference. Can you believe it? And to our rival. Our rival. I mean, not to a team that, let's say, plays like the Premier League, which we would only play in the Champions League, for example. Oh, yeah, by the way, the Europa League. The Europa League. We haven't been in the Europa League since Messi joined Barcelona. And guess what? Now that he left, this is the first time since he joined, since he played, made his debut for Barca, that we're back in the fucking Europa League. Can you believe it? Back in the Europa League. And we're playing Napoli, who is actually a very strong team and a very strong side, who has, has the total potential to defeat us. Yes, we have a possibility. Yes, there's a chance, but come on. This is a complete embarrassment for Barcelona, who was in the semi-final. The semi-final of the Champions League just 2 years ago, and now we're we got third to Benfica. Benfica. And look at the chances we played against the second game when it was 0-0. We played terribly. Complete failure in front of goal. Let's just not forget, not only was it was the worst decision I've seen of the last transfer window to loan Griezmann off to a rival who not only has Luis Suarez, one of our ex-players who we gave away for like literal pennies, and we also gave Antoine Griezmann to loan. Loan. They didn't even buy him for the same price we bought him for. It was a loan. And instead we got Luc de Jong, who isn't even a starter at his own club. Luc de Jong at Sevilla, who hasn't done a decent performance since he played in the Europa League final a year ago. A year ago. And not to mention, Braithwaite and Luc de Jong, the two are two strikers besides Depay. Two failures. Failures. I mean, let's not forget that Braithwaite is injured, but he's a failure. He's like, he played for Leganés. No superstar team, Leganés, who's in the second division right now. Second division. That's where he belongs. Second division of Spain. The championship of La Liga, basically. Let's be honest. I mean, it's not just the attacking force that's a complete disaster. It's the defense. It's just it's just the formation, the tactics, the everything, basically. I mean, you see Busquets with the national team, and he's so much better than he is at Barcelona. Guess what? Because he's utilized so much better. He knows his position. He knows what to do. He looks lost. There's no communication. There's no dynamic in the midfield, which is the most important area of the field. It's where games are won. That's where games are won. The midfield is where games are won, and we're losing the midfield. We're getting broken down so easily. The Bayern game, we got broken down so easily. Not just in the midfield, but the defense as well. I expected more from Xavi, who is supposedly a tactical genius. That was tactical mayhem. Look at the defense. The defense was like laughable, laughable. I mean, if Gerard wasn't playing that game, I thought he was going to pull an injury, the amount of like slide tackles he was doing. Like seriously, if Gerard wasn't there, it would be like 5-0, 6-0. Not just that. It could have easily been 5-0 if like Sane didn't blow like two or three easy sitters. I mean, granted he scored that golazo, but he could have easily scored like a hat trick. Let's be honest. Honestly, these players that we like keep. I mean, as much as I like Gerard Piqué, he's too old. Even though he's our best player, he's too old. He needs to go. We need to make way, and we need to sell the players that have these huge, multi-million-dollar contracts that aren't producing anything. Like Umtiti is not producing anything. Lenglet is not producing anything. Sergio Roberto is not producing anything, and he's one of the main problems. Like, let's get rid of these has-beens and make way for new players. I mean, it doesn't have to be like some super class signing, but someone who isn't going to cost us these games that these players are costing us. Let's be honest. They're costing us games. Sergio Roberto is costing us games. Lenglet is costing us games. Let's be honest. Can we finally put our foot down and say these players are not what they once were? I mean, let's be honest. Some youth players have more potential and are doing better. At least they're putting effort onto the pitch. There's not enough urgency. It's too lackadaisical. Honestly, it's like even Ter Stegen, a world class goalkeeper, thinks he's untouchable. He thinks he's untouchable, and now he's like playing these weak games, weak performances. 4 out of 10 performances from not only Ter Stegen, but back when Suarez was there, he thought he was untouchable as well. It's stupid. Honestly, it's pathetic. So, not only that, it's just the defense. It's just so unorganized as well. They get broken down so easily. There's not enough communication, and all I see from Gerard Piqué is just complaining. No real communication, just complaining. Araujo is a great center back with a lot of potential, yet he's not talking on the pitch. He seems like a Varane 2.0. No real leadership without Ramos, for example. That's what Varane's problem was. And guess what? It's the same with Araujo, not standing up. I know he's a youngster, but he has to stand up. He has to put his foot down and say, hey, we need to get organized. There's no organization. Zero organization in Barca right now, and that's what needs to happen. Being determined, saying set the real standard for Barca. We're not a Europa League side team, and yet we're playing like it, like we're acting like it. I understand that there's a huge amount of dependency. There was a huge amount of dependency on Messi, but we need to get over it. I understand that there's going to be some like struggles and some gaps in the team because arguably the best player ever was on our team. But yeah, we got to get over it and play as a team. Communicate. Say, hey, yeah, Messi's gone. Okay, whatever. Fill in the gaps. Play as a team. Get our shit together and play better. We expect more. We are Barca. Come on. And yeah, that's my rant.